Mindful Life Practice.
Okay, so we're gonna start our yoga practice tonight in a child's pose. And you're gonna come onto your mat, on your knees. Let me move my camera a little bit, it's very pointed at the ground. Sit your hips back onto your heels. And then just rest your forehead with your knees together or your knees apart. So it's funny, I scheduled this class because I was like, I really want to reteach what I taught on Monday because I forgot to record it. And then when I actually came to teach it, I was like, I kind of remember the flow, but I don't remember exactly. Maria helped remind me some of the things, the song and the poem. But I know the feeling that I was feeling on Monday. It was a really important day for me because it was my celebrating my 1 year no beer, my 1 year without alcohol. And I remember when I first committed to this new lifestyle, quitting drinking, it seemed like virtually impossible. I didn't even think I would make it for a month, let alone 90 days, let alone a year. And the day that I made this decision, it wasn't like January 1st, it wasn't a Monday, there was nothing special about it. It was just April 13th, right? Any other day. So at the beginning of every yoga practice, sometimes I offer an intention, sometimes I'll suggest one. Today I want you to come up with an intention of your own, of a quality that you want to start to build and manifest and create in your life. For me, for everyone, it's very different. For me, it was, that I couldn't moderate my drinking. And so my intention was to quit. And I guess my intention was that, I'm strong, I'm capable, I am committed. And so sometimes when we create an intention on our yoga practice and on our yoga mat, it can kind of spiral off into our lives. So what kind of quality, what do you want to create and embody in your life today? There she is, Nadia. I have to get up and wait, let everyone in from the waiting room. Okay, take one more breath in your child's pose. And then you're gonna just walk your arms over to the right and you're taking a lateral side bend through the left body. So you're breathing into the left rib cage. So Vinyasa Flow, I think most of you have experienced this practice with me before. But basically it's a flowing style of yoga. We're gonna link our breath with our movements and we're gonna move from one pose into the next. Let's take the palms all the way back through center and then over to the left. And typically I sequence these classes with a peak pose in mind. I'll pick one pose, we'll work our way up to it throughout the practice. Today we're gonna move through a mandala flow. It's almost like a journey on your yoga mat. Come all the way back through center. And we don't necessarily have one target area of the body. We just wanna kind of stretch and strengthen all over. Leave feeling centered. Okay, so take one more breath in your child's pose. And then we're gonna come all the way up into a tabletop, palms underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And then as you take a breath in, you're gonna tilt at your pelvis and lift your heart, and this is called your cow pose. And then exhale, curl the spine and tuck the chin. So keep moving like this with your own breath. And something important that I want to mention is, you know, we all come into these practices with different experience, different strengths, different injuries. Please move through this practice mindfully. You don't have to do every single pose. Only do things that feel good. If you feel a sharp pain, back off. It is not worth an injury, okay? You'll get there with patience and with time. Just let your spine re-straighten, and let's take some C curves. So coming over the right shoulder, and then gazing over the left shoulder. It's almost like if you can picture like a dog looking at their tail, like over one shoulder and then over the next. And then take one more of each. And then you're gonna come all the way back through center. Inhale your right arm up towards the sky. Take a nice little twist. And then send your right arm underneath your left, land onto the right shoulder and the right cheek. And then maybe you lift your left arm and hook it around. And then let's come all the way back through center. And then twist the opposite way. Let's unwind all the way back. Rotate your palms so that the fingers are going out to the sides of your mat now. And if you can, rotate them all the way around so that your fingertips are going back towards your knees. So they're like this on the earth. And then if you want to take a little rock forward and back, you're really just getting into the wrists here. And then slowly unwind, place your palms just like neutral. And I want you to feel the difference between like just a lazy table and an engaged table. So pressing through the palms, strong through the arms. You're like turning the eyes of the elbows towards the front. And then from there, you're gonna tuck your toes under and lift your hips up and back and come into your first down dog. So your body is like a V shape here. Your palms are rooted down. Your hips are reaching up towards the sky. Your spine is stacking vertebrae on vertebrae. And take one more breath. And then you're gonna bend through both of your knees, gaze forward, and then just step your feet up to your hands. Okay, take an inhale, halfway lift, lift your heart, root through your feet, and then exhale, fold forward. And then press through both feet. Inhale, lift all the way up to stand, circle your palms up overhead. Connect your palms into your heart center and then feel your thumbs against your heartbeat. Let's release the palms and we're gonna do a tiny little bit of free movement. So just rock from side to side. Flip-flopping your arms. Wiggling and wobbling. Just kind of doing whatever feels good. And stay rocking like this for 3, for 2, and then on 1, I want you to drop everything and freeze. And imagine your torso, it's like this glass of water full up with sand and it's been stirred and stirred and stirred and everything is like chaos spiraling all over, and then you drop into stillness. And the sand begins to settle and the water clears. Sand settles, the water clears. Breath in, palms reach up towards the sky. Breath out, forward fold. Breath in, halfway lift. Breath out, fold forward, plant your palms, step your feet back, find yourself in a strong plank. Now we're gonna be here for a couple of breaths. If you're new to yoga, you can land the knees onto the mat, okay? If you're okay with keeping the toes tucked, keep the toes tucked, keep the knees lifted. Push the ground away. Imagine that little space between the shoulder blades has a little string attached and it's lifting up towards the sky. And then you're feeling extension from the crown of the head all the way through the heels. Breathe in for 3, breathe in for 2. And then on 1, now we'll all land the knees onto the mat. and take our first vinyasa gently. So your elbows are drawing back. It's like a tricep push-up lowering. And then inhale your heart up, be as light as possible on the palms. Exhale your way back down. Shift through a tabletop, and then bring your body up to a downward facing dog. Take your right foot up towards the sky, bend the knee, and then just do some little hip circles. And then we'll take the opposite, so right foot lands, left leg lifts up, hip circles. And then land the left foot, bend the knees, gaze forward, feet step up to meet the hands. Inhale, half lift, exhale, fold. Bend through the knees, sit back, find your chair, your Utkatasana. So I want you to see that your toes are in front of your knees. You're almost tucking your tailbone. You're lifting through your arms, but then also softening through the shoulders. Okay, stay here for 3, for 2, and then on 1, inhale, and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale your way back down, plant the palms, make your way back. Take a vinyasa. If you want to do it with your knees lifted, if you're regular at yoga, go ahead. And if that's too much for your body, lower the knees. Okay, lift up to your down dog. This time we'll take the right foot up towards the sky. Bend through the right knee, step the right foot between the palms. Find your balance. Inhale, lift your arms up so your back leg is active. Your heel is stacking above the toe mound. And then exhale your way forward. Plant the palms. Step your right foot back. We're gonna move through vinyasa. And then take the opposite side. Okay, left foot lifts up. Draw your left knee in. Step your left foot between the palms. Inhale up towards the sky. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. And then come forward, plant the palms. Step your left foot back, vinyasa. Okay, take a couple deep breaths. And then we'll add on a tiny bit. Inhale your right foot up towards the sky. Bend through the right knee, step your right foot forward. This time we're gonna inhale up to a crescent lunge, and then exhale, open to a warrior 2. Okay, so you land the left heel, right palm reaches forward, hips are pointed towards the side of the room. Breath in, reverse your warrior. Breath out, come all the way forward, plant the palms. Now this time you're gonna keep your left palm rooted and you're gonna spiral your right palm up towards the sky. Roll onto the outer edge of the left foot, take your right foot towards the center of the mat. If you're good here, stay here. The other option is to come into a side plank of Vashisthasana with your left foot maybe stacking, right foot. Hold into your side plank for 3, for 2, and then on 1, either take a vinyasa or just go straight back to down dog. And I'm just gonna go to down dog because I just did a bar class. And I don't need another vinyasa in my life. Take your left foot up towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Draw your left knee in, step your left foot between your palms, inhale up, and then exhale, open. Find yourself in your warrior 2, and then take a breath in, reverse the warrior, and then exhale your way up. Windmill palms to the mat and frame the foot. Now your right palm is your root here, your left palm is gonna spiral. Walk your left foot to the center of the mat. Maybe you stay here, maybe you step the foot back, finding your side plank, 3, 2, and then 1, you're gonna land your left palm, land both knees onto the mat. Okay, let's do a few tricep push-ups. So we're gonna draw the elbows back and then push the ground away. We do a lot of tricep push-ups in yoga because these are chaturanga arms. And basically you are building your strength to one day do all those crazy arm balances that we do in Power Vinyasa. Okay, so you need to take these little baby steps to move, to progress in your practice. Okay, let's just do 1 more. And then you're gonna lower all the way down and we'll move through a few back bends. Okay, so take your palms alongside your hips. Breath in, you're gonna lift your heart. And then just float here for 3, for 2, And then on one, lower and rest a cheek. So second back bend, you can take that first one, or you might interlace your palms and lift your heart. Stay for 3, for 2, and then on one, lower, and then rest a cheek. Breath in, and then breath out. Okay, third back bend, you can take the first, the second, or kick your heels to your bum, grip your palms to your ankles, lift up into a back bend. I am super wary of this pose because one time one of my boyfriends came to my yoga class and he literally threw out his back because he was trying to do this. I think he was trying to show off, but the point is, if your back does not feel open, if it does not feel good, please do not do it. Come back to one of the earlier back bends, okay? It is not worth an injury just to do a yoga pose. He couldn't bend over for like probably a week. Kept calling him an old man. He was kind of an old man. Anyway, breath in. We're not dating anymore. Exhale, lower. And then just take your palms underneath your shoulders. You're gonna come up through a table and then just shift back to your child's pose. Okay, so we're getting into kind of the meat of our flow now. I don't know why I call it the meat. So I'm a vegetarian, but the main chunk of our flow. So as I said before, it's going to be a mandala. We're going to be circling around the mat. It's okay if you get disoriented. Just try to go along with it. So palms on the mat. Lift your way up into a table. I'm going to give you an option before we get into down dog. We're going to do some core stuff from our down dog. If that feels like too much for you today, just stay on your knees and do elbow to knee, okay? If you're good up here, we're going to come up into down dog. We're going to take the right foot up towards the sky, bend your right knee and stack the hips. If you would like to flip your dog, ripple your heart forward into plank, roll onto the other edge of the left foot, roll onto your right tippy toes, lift your heart towards the sky. So it's like an arm balance and a back bend. Come all the way back, land the right palm, take your knee into your heart center. Hold it here for 3, for 2, and then on 1, you're going to cross your right foot across the width of the mat, land onto the left heel, and then reach your left palm up towards the sky, rock star. 3, 2, and then 1, land the left palm back down. Okay, we're kind of flipping all over the place. We're coming into our Vashisthasana, our side plank again. If you've been with me the past few weeks, if you're ready to take your toes and take your leg up to the sky, go for it. You do not have to do this by any means. You can also just be here or here, okay? We are gonna step the right foot all the way forward now, okay? Just give it a big step. Okay, come up into your crescent lunge, and then land your left heel and open into your warrior 2. So your right palm is reaching forward, left palm is reaching back. Most common misalignment I see here is people curling their shoulders up towards their ears. Try to soften and release. We don't need to add any more tension into your trapezius muscles. Already has enough. Let's inhale to reverse our warrior. And then exhale, come forward into the warrior extended side angle. So right elbow on the right thigh. Taking 3 more flows like this, breath in, and then breath out. 2 more. And then take 1 more. And then inhale all the way back up. Lengthen through your right leg. Shorten your stance a little bit. And then you're gonna hinge at the hips and reach forward. And your right arm is gonna come alongside your right leg. Left arm spirals up towards the sky. So this is Trikonasana. You can stay here, or you might shift your weight onto your right foot and onto your right palm and take your left palm up towards the sky. This is called your Ardha Chandrasana, your half moon. If you want a further variation, if you want to do something a little bit more challenging, you are welcome to kick your heel towards your bottom and see if you can come into a quad stretch. This is called sugar cane. One of my students lovingly named it sugar pain. Take 1 more breath. And then let's release the foot Bend through the right knee, step all the way back. Okay, lengthen through your right leg, turn your right toes to the sidewall, take a breath in, and then exhale your way forward, find your forward fold, grip opposite elbows. I always feel bad when I go into this flow that like, you have to look at my butt on the screen. But I just don't think I should turn around because then you'll get like all confused with what direction we're going in. So we'll just stay like this. Okay, take your palms onto the mat. Breathe in your left palm up towards the sky, little twist, and then exhale it back down. Inhale your right palm up towards the sky. And then exhale it back down. Take one more of each. And then right palm reaches up. Take it back down. Put your hands onto your hips. Lift all the way up. And then turn your left toes to face the back of the room. Okay, lift off of your right heel. And now I want you to widen your stance a little bit. So if you imagine there's a line on the center of your mat, your feet are on either side of that line. Okay, it's like basic physics. You need a wide foundation to be steady. You can have your hands on your hips, or hands at heart center, or whatever. And then we're gonna lower the back knee and then lengthen it back up, taking 3 more. 2 more. And then 1 more. Lengthen all the way back up. Shift weight onto your left foot. You're gonna tilt your body forward and find yourself in a warrior 3. Okay, so in this pose, your right hip is level with the left. If you wanna have your hands on something to steady you, you can, like I have my couch right here, or your hands can just be at heart center or whatever. Stay for 3 and for 2. And then on 1, lift all the way up and you're gonna take your right ankle, cross it over your left thigh, and then sit your hips back. So you're coming into this standing pigeon. I'm gonna turn so you can see me. It's just like this. Like you're sitting in a chair with your leg crossed. Balance here for 3 and for 2. And then on 1, lift all the way up, take your right leg with you, extend your right leg out, and then cross your right ankle in front of your left. Take a breath in. And then as you exhale forward, fold. Now you should be feeling a deep stretch through your left calf here. Let's hold on to this stretch for another breath. And then slowly roll all the way up to stand. Take your palms onto your hips. Lift onto your tippy toes. Give yourself a little quarter swivel. Keep your heels lifted. Take your hands out at shoulder level. I don't know what this pose is called. In the past, I've called it zombie pose. I think it's a good name. We're gonna bend at the knees and hover, 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 lowering for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Once you get there, can you hold 5, wobbly 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Lift everything back up. Take a massive big stretch. Stay balancing, and then land your heels and connect your palms at heart center and close your eyes. Let go of movement, receive stillness. Let go of effort, receive ease. Remind yourself what your intention is. What do you want to bring into this practice? What do you want to bring into your life? And maybe it's just a bit of compassion and kindness towards yourself. Maybe you want to go easy throughout this class. That's okay. Take one more breath with that with you. Take a big step with your left foot. Left toes towards the front of the mat. So now we're back in our warrior 2. We've made it all the way around. Take your breath in, reverse the warrior. And then exhale, come all the way up. You're gonna windmill your palms to the mat and frame your foot. And then land onto your right knee, okay? We're gonna come into a lizard. So your left palm goes to the inside of your left foot. Now, if you want to stay on the palms, you can. If you have a bit more space in your hips, you might come onto the elbows. And then maybe you take the left palm up towards the sky and you come into a quad stretch. If you have tight quads, again, do not push it. You don't need to pull your quad tonight. That's not the goal. Release the palm, release the foot, tuck the toes, roll onto the outer edge of the right foot, walk the left foot back, one more side plank. Find your variation, stay in it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1 to take a vinyasa. And then eventually we're all gonna congregate back in our down dogs, and I'm gonna fix my hair. And then we're gonna move through that flow on the opposite side. So remember, you can come into your table and just do your core work from there. Or you might be up in your down dog, taking your left foot up towards the sky, bending through the knee, and then taking your body forward into a plank and flipping your dog. Slowly roll all the way back, take the knee into the chest. Stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1, step the foot to the side, land onto the heel, lift your way up, find this rock star, take a breath, roll back down, take the left knee in, lift the left leg up, find your side plank. You can also have the foot grounded, you can also just be in your regular plank, whatever, and then take your left foot all the way forward. Okay, let's lift up, and then open into your warrior 2. And find a bit of stillness here. When you're ready, inhale, reverse the warrior. And then exhale, extended side angle. 3 more just like this. Breath in, and then breath out. 2 more. And then take 1 more. And then inhale, come all the way up, lengthen through your left leg. Walk your right heel in a tiny bit, take a breath in. Hinge your way forward, left palm, inside of left leg, right arm reaches up towards the sky. If your balance is feeling off, chill here. And if you want to take it up, half moon. Option 3 is sugar cane or sugar pain. Hold on here for 3 and for 2. And then on 1 release, step your foot back, hands onto the hips, lengthen through the left leg, turn all 10 toes to face the side wall. Take a breath in, and then exhale your way forward. And this time, choose your favorite arm variation. So you can be gripping opposite elbows, be dangling your arms, you can be interlacing the palms and just reaching them overhead. You choose. And then release the palms, just take them back onto the hips, and then press through the feet to come all the way back up. Turn your right toes to face the back of the room now, bend through the right knee, step off your left heel, and widen your stance a little bit. So now you're in this low lunge, and we're gonna hover the knee, and then lengthen it back up. 3 more just like this, lower, and then lengthen, 2, and then 1. Okay, start to shift weight onto the right foot, and then find yourself in a warrior 3. Tilt your weight up to stand, take your left knee with you, cross your left ankle on top of your right thigh, bend through the right knee, sit back. Standing pigeon, I almost forgot the name for a second. So a nice deep hip stretch, take 1 more breath. And then land your left ankle in front of your right. Inhale your palms up towards the sky. And then just exhale, sigh your way forward. Hang out here, take some deep breaths. Feel a deep stretch on your left calf. And then slowly roll all the way up to stand. Hands onto the hips, lift up onto the toes, do a little quarter swivel, find your balance here. Staying for 3, we're gonna skip zombie pose, 2, and then on 1, just land the heels. Take a deep breath in, and then a deep breath out. Step your right foot all the way forward. Turn your right toes to the front of the room, bend through the right knee, warrior two. And then inhale, reverse the warrior. And then exhale, come all the way up, window palms to the mat and frame the foot. Take your right foot wide now. Right palm on the inside of the right foot, land your left knee, and then choose where you want to be for lizard. You can be here, you can come onto the elbows. Maybe you kick the heel back and sweep the arm and get your nice little quad stretch. Let's stay where you are for 3, and then for 2, and then for 1, just release that foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, roll onto the outer edge of the left foot, walk your right foot all the way back, find yourself into your side plank, balance in your side plank for 3 and 2, and then 1, let's come forward. Hold onto your plank now, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, you got this, 4, 3, 2, and on 1, I want you to step your feet forward, so they're wide, and then you're sitting your hips back and you're coming into a nice little squat. Okay, so you can either stay here getting into this hip stretch. If Bakasana or crow, the arm balance is something that you're working on, feel free to fly into it or give it a try. I'm not gonna do it right now because I'm tired from bar and I'm trying to be mindful of my own energy and ability right now. But if you do want to try the arm balance, go for it. And then let's just take 1 more breath. And then come all the way back up into a forward fold. Wiggle your feet in, and then grip your palms to opposite elbows and hang out. So if you want to take a vinyasa here, go ahead. If you want to stay in your forward fold, stay in your forward fold. Whatever you want. And then we're going to release the grip and then slowly roll all the way up to stand. Okay, so we have done a bit of hip opening, a bit of quad opening, a couple balance poses. So first of all, if you're more comfortable just taking like a tree pose or a warrior 3, go ahead. If you do want to come into your dancer's pose, we are going to trust weight onto the left foot. Kick your right heel in towards your bottom. Grip your palm to the inside of the right foot. I'm going to show you how I do this. I do it like this. I've seen it done both ways. I just think this version is better for your shoulder, but give it a try and see what works for you, okay? And then you might just be good here. Maybe you can start to kick the heel back, and then maybe you lean forward, reaching your left arm out, and just press through the big toe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1, coming all the way back up to stand. And then take the other side. So left heel, left palm, right arm reaches up. And then maybe you lean all the way forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. You know what, let's come all the way back up to stand, land the foot. We're gonna take 1 more balancing pose. I rarely teach this pose except in beginner's yoga, and I don't know why, because it's an awesome pose. So we're gonna do it tonight. This is tree pose. Your left foot is going to be rooted, lift onto your right tippy toes, open your right knee to the side. And maybe you're here, maybe the foot goes all the way here. One variation actually I'm gonna offer you, it's a half lotus. You take your heel in towards your hip, if that's something that you feel like your hip is open for. And then maybe try reaching your right arm up. See if you can wrap it around the back and go for this bind with the toe. Lift the left arm up. Again, be mindful, be careful. It's not something you have to do. You can be in any variation of the tree and it's still a beautiful tree, right? There's not any tree that's better than another. They're all just trees. Give it 1 more breath. And then we'll just release. And then take the opposite side. So right foot is your root. Left foot comes somewhere to the inside of the right leg. And then you find your grip. Hold for 3, and for 2, and then for 1. And we'll release that grip. Release the palms. Feel both feet rooted and supporting you. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale your way back to down dog. Maybe take a vinyasa. And we're gonna move from the down dog directly into pigeon, which is a nice sweet hip opener. So take your right leg up, draw your right knee in, lay the right shin across the width of your mat, wiggle your left knee back, back, back until you have some space. Take an inhale, and then exhale your way forward. If you have knee pain, please go onto your back and thread the needle. I'm just gonna quickly demo it. This is another variation, gets the same benefits. And if you're okay hanging out in your pigeon, then just hang out there. This part of the body, the hips, it's like an emotional junk drawer. I think we all have a lot of stuff in there to begin with. And then throw in a global pandemic and social isolation, and it's just like a stuffed up junk drawer. And all this crap is possibly will start overflowing out when you start to come into yoga and you start to stretch into this joint and you start to release it. Over the years, I've seen a lot of people cry when they're in a pose like this. So if you're feeling a lot of emotions, know that whatever you're feeling is normal. There's nothing wrong with it. I had a friend who ran out of the room during my class a year ago because she thought there was something wrong with her because she was crying in yoga. So just let yourself feel whatever you need to feel. Sometimes we need to like release stuff to move forward, eh? Give it one more breath. And then just come back onto your palms. Come back up to your down dog. If you have one more vinyasa you want to take, go ahead. And then we're gonna drop into pigeon on the opposite side. And this time I'm just gonna be quiet and let you feel whatever sensations. And then take one more breath. Roll onto the left hip, just take the right knee around. Come all the way to seated. Let's lift our arms up alongside our legs. Lift, come into a Navasana, a boat. Slowly lean all the way back, hover for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. Come all the way down onto your mat. So if you want to move into a back bend, 2 options. The first is a bridge. Feet are underneath the knees, lift the hips up, roll the shoulder blades under. Generally, the alignment you want to have here is feet are directly underneath the knees. I see people either stepping way too far forward or way too close. So we're just trying to have that like right angle. If you want to come into full wheel, I'm not going to guide it tonight, but if that's part of your practice, go there. take one more inhale. One more exhale. Open your arms. Slowly lower each and every vertebrae, one at a time, down onto your mat. Open your arms into cactus arms. You're gonna take your knees up to your chest, and then drop both knees over to the right, and then send your gaze over the left, or vice versa, it doesn't really matter. So for those of you guys that came in late, just so you know, I'm gonna end this class a couple minutes earlier than usual, just because I do have another class right at 7:30 and I don't want us to be rushing in and out. So typically the classes are 60 minutes with me, and this one will be closer to like 50 minutes. Let's take one more breath. And then open the left arm. Take the knees all the way through center, and then cross them the opposite way. Landing the palm, landing the gaze, getting a nice twist for the neck. Open the arm, come all the way back up through center. And then we're just gonna land our feet on the mat. Open the knees wide, bring your body into a butterfly. You could grip opposite elbows. You can land your palms onto your navel. Take a few deep breaths. And if there's any last poses that would seal your practice well tonight, whether it's Shavasana, going straight to Shavasana, or something else before your Shavasana, feel free to take it now. And if you eventually want to come into seated or child's pose or any other shape, go ahead. So if you were with me in class on Monday, finished our class with a poem. I've since posted that poem on Instagram. But at the time that I read it to you, it was something that I wrote on my 30th day alcohol-free. That was 11 months ago. And when I wrote this poem, I was a bit too ashamed to share it with anyone. I didn't want anyone to know what I was going through. And so I didn't post it. And I came back to it a year later, and now that I'm so comfortable being open about my journey, that it felt right to share it. I wrote, today is day 30, alcohol-free, May 13th, 2019. And I woke up at 3:45 a.m. to walk into the sunrise because it has been a month of sunrises, a month of tears, peanut butter truffles, hugs and tears within hugs. yoga, 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 loving kindness meditations, offering love in all the ways I can. Shape, pump, spin, choir, guitar. Making the bed in the morning, washing the dishes each day, pausing to eat breakfast. One small habit change, it's had this ripple effect through my life. Nachos without beer, pasta without wine, workouts without hangovers, and brunch exactly as it should be with coffee. Who knew? And here I am, grateful. After 27 trips around the sun and 12 of those with a drink in my hand and 4 of those in the Middle East, which has brought me face to face with this, I feel free. And I now realize that I was the one holding myself back this whole time. Thank you, thank you, thank you to everyone who walked beside me this month. You know who you are, near and far. I did this myself, but I couldn't have without you. And here I go, so much stronger into month 2. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken highs and learn to see all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly. Blackbird fly. Into the light of a dark black night. And blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly all your life. You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. You were only waiting moment to arrive. Just give your fingers and your toes a little wake up wiggle. And then run a nice long stretch through your body from your fingers all the way through your toes. And if you're seated in meditation, you can just stay. And if you're in your Shavasana, take your knees into the chest, give yourself a hug. Make your way up to seated. And then we're going to take our palms into our heart center and lengthen up through the spine. So I like to seal our classes with an Om sound, and it's really just a symbol of unity, of togetherness. And even though we're not in this same room, it often feels like we're together. We're crossing oceans and continents. And as you participate in the Om, if you would like to join, maybe just try to feel that connectedness that we're creating together. Take a breath in. And then a breath out. And a breath in. We close with an intention. It's an ancient intention, but the original intention. It's passed from heart to heart to heart, year after year after year. And it's that our yoga practice remains steady, and that our efforts remain continuous, and that our yoga serves not only us, but the circle of people around us and the circle of people around them, and so on and so forth. And may we all be happy, healthy, and free, not just us, but everyone on earth. May the thoughts and actions of each of our lives contribute towards this. If you want to add your own intention at the end, feel free. Thank you so much for sharing this space and this practice tonight. Om Shanti, 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 peace. Namaste.
The Mindful Life Practice.